Welcome. This is day 4 of the Faith Reclaimed Challenge, which is based on my book, Faith Reclaimed, Finding Peace and Hope in God's Promises. The challenge is a way for you to have a tool and use it and to work with yourself, not Bible study, just work with yourself to go through what God has said. Because as I've explained several times, this book was written for us to claim what we already have, what we've been assured from God that we have. And sometimes we just need that spark, that one word of encouragement, or something to keep us on the path. But today, this is a restful day for the challenge because one of the things that happens when we are trying to reclaim our faith, it means that there, as the book talks about, looking for hope and peace. The thing that happens is everything's in turmoil. And we really do need rest, and we're promised rest. But let us start with the story that is from the book on page 109, which is about Abraham, who had faith in God's promises. And the reason Abraham is in here is because we need to see what happens with a person in this case who was a pagan and got a word from God, and it changed his life. It changed all of our lives because he did become the father of nations. But that trust in God helped him with every move that he had to make. God would speak and he would obey. And so he's a man of faith. He was a man of faith, and his faith was of tremendous help to God. And that's something we have to remember. We may think, well, it's okay, it's just me, I'm not bothering anybody. But if God has given you a task, God has put you here for a purpose, and you're all tired and you can't help yourself, let alone somebody else, then I believe that this is why we need to recharge ourselves and to remember who God is. So, Abraham is our perfect result of trusting God without he did not have the full details. We do have his word, and we can read it and we can study it and we can use it. So, the personal challenge today comes from scripture, Matthew 11:28. And the scripture reads, "Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest." So we're not speaking of you just deciding to rest. God has promised that if you come to Him, He will give you rest. And that is what we're working on today. But I like to take it in a more modern version because I want to make sure that it gets down in your spirit what He's saying. And so the Message Bible says, "Are you tired, worn out, burned out on religion? Come to me." This is Jesus speaking. He says, "Come to me." So you haven't talked to Jesus, if you haven't listened to his word, if you haven't just been with him, then this promise, you're doing away with the good promise here. And then he continues to say, "Get away with me." Oh, and he said, "You'll recover your life." So here's the promise. If you go away with him, which is what I told you I did, I sat in this room and I stayed with him because that's how I got and recovered my life. You'll recover your life. I'll show you how to take a real rest. I did not have to write that. It was the interpretation. It's a modern interpretation, but it certainly can lead us to what we're trying to do today. So all you're asked to do as an action step is to take 10 minutes of silent reflection. That's you and God. 10 minutes. That's the challenge. You know how they challenge you to do 50 sit-ups or push-ups? Um, this is the challenge. You don't have to do that. 10 minutes of silent reflection with yourself. And then the questions you need to ask yourself is, how easy or hard was this to do? And what did you sense during the quiet? And how can you continue to build this in your life? So, this is an introduction to one of the ways that can help you reclaim your faith. And these steps that are a challenge, it's a way for you to work on yourself. It's like exercise. Incidentally, this book has been looked at and used, and is currently being used with Mars Jameson and his Pray and Exercise. Exercise and rest, yes. He is teaching that you got to have the word, you got to go to the word in order to get the rest that you need. So today, promise yourself you will take this step, and then promise that you will write and tell us about it, that you did your 10 minutes, and while you were there, something great happened in your mind. You got that peace that God promises, His peace, which surpasses understanding. So we will see you tomorrow on day 5, and thanks for joining us.